When I gave this mail to all of you, actually we received mail from the institute. I am showing you the institute mail. This is the institute mail which I received. That they are saying that they will be sharing paper for SBL and SBR. But there is nothing new paper in SBL, in SBL. In SBL, which I will say that the paper which is already there on the institute website is Specimen 1, and for SBR, which is already there on the institute website March, June 19. So there is no new paper they are giving. The same paper which is there on the website. And they are asking that the student will be solving that paper on the institute website on the practice platform between 13th to 16th. That is only two subjects, 13th to 16th. Then they will submit the answer to the learning partner. You can say my student will be submitting to me. I will be checking that answers, and then I will be submitting those answers by 21st August to ACCA Institute. But only 3. Suppose there are 20 students, not 20 copies. Only 3 copies I will send. Then they will give feedback that whether my marking guidelines are proper or not. They will take a webinar, and then I will communicate to the students their performance. It's good, but there is no new paper they are giving. So what I did, because I have already prepared for all these subjects the papers from the institute website only, you can say that taking questions from here and there, or you can say the objective question from this paper, from that paper, in that way for all these subjects. Now, whatever is there on the institute website, you can understand that around 60 to 70% I will be doing in the class. Already I am doing. We have already started FM. We have already started SBR, SBL around 20 days back. And my objective is to start PM today. So already all the mock papers we have started from the institute website already in the class. And I communicated in the previous week that every student, whether he is taking class from me or not, whether he is studying from me or not, should be doing all the mock papers on the institute website only. Because then in that case, what you can do in the exam hall, you will be able to understand better. So most of the papers, most of the mocks, the students should be doing on the institute website, whether any subject. I said that one mock should be done, say, on 15th, tomorrow, the another mock on 28th, then third on 25th, then fourth on 38th, and then one more in the next month. When we do one mock means we will be solving exactly in 3 hours, like we will be sitting in exam hall. After solving in 3 hours, we will be going through the model answers. We will analyze our performance. We will be able to see where we are doing mistake, where my knowledge is not perfect. We will be revising the stuff in next 5 days, 16, 17, 18, 19. Again on 20th, we should be giving one more mock. Now the performance should be good, but still you are finding that still the hiccups are there. Then in that case, again 21, 22, 23, 24, you will be revising your stuff. You will be working on your weak areas. Like that, 4 or 5 mocks should be given. I will show you. It is very simple. There is no problem, Mahendra, because they are not giving only answer like we did in FM. They are giving the marking, 1 mark on this, 2 mark on this, 1 mark on this, that you will analyze on your own, that whether you have written that area or not, then only you will get the marks. And if suppose somewhere you are not able to understand, you have written and your answer is not matching, and still you are thinking you are correct. I am there. I am not gone on top. So I am there. So what I mean to say that most of the mocks I am solving, but that doesn't mean that we are solving in the class. That means we will not be solving on our own. We have to solve. Even the doubts can arise in part A and B also. Objective type question, they have done something, but you are thinking like we have done the questions from practice kit. Whatever questions are there in the practice kit, 80% are from the institute website. At least. All those are taken topic wise from the mock papers only. But whether somebody has completed the study or not, that's immaterial now. We have to go on the institute website. So for these two subjects, which is professional level SBL, SBR, whatever the student will submit the answer on the mock, then I will be, you can say, checking those copies, submitting to the institute only 3 copies. And then the institute give me feedback. I generally say that whether the institute is doing this or not, we generally do in all the batch mock papers for last 15 days. This is the only time that we are doing mock papers earlier. Reason being only one, that since June exam was not there. Otherwise, when I will start a new subject in September, I will be doing mock paper after 20th November only. Between 20th November to December exam. Before 20th November, it will never start. Because to complete a subject, that much time is required. That is also not a problem. This time when we are getting the benefit, why not to start the mock papers earlier? Why not to work on mock papers better? But this will be very bad if the student will still go on studying with the study text and with the, I will say, exam kit. That is not logical. Whether your study is complete or not, you should be going to the next level for doing the mock papers. So in your case, maybe the institute is not doing anything for all of you. I am there. Wherever you are facing problem, you can ask your doubts. You can send your mail that this I have written, they are writing this, whether like Mahinder or anybody. When we are doing questions in exam kit also part C questions are there. 80 to 90% questions from the institute website only. It's not new. So when we are doing exam kit questions and when we are analyzing whether we are correct or not, how we are analyzing? In the exam kit, at most of the places, the examiner's comment, the examiner's feedback are written. It's not only the answer written. Similarly, on the institute website, for every question, the marking guidelines are given. That when the student will be getting marks on writing what, on doing what. So if we are fulfilling that, we will get the numbers. If we don't fulfill that, we will not. The spelling, English, grammar, my, yours, or anybody in the class never be same. Everybody has his own style. So they are not looking at the grammar or English. They are looking at what is asked in the question. Are you answering that or not? Then only you will get the marks. As we did, Mahinder, the question in FM class on Tuesday. What do you realize? That when you write the answer, you will not be able to analyze your answer whether it is correct or not. What is your feeling, Mahinder? Because we did part C only on that day. Sometimes it may create confusion. I am not saying. But 98% it will not create confusion. Yes, suggested answers. When we discussed in the class, I did some calculations and then you can see we discussed theory. Then we read their answers. Then is this possible that if I am writing something, I will not be able to understand whether I am doing right or wrong? Then you need to submit that answers. I will be evaluating in the class, in Tuesday class, you can submit. You will not be able to exactly write what they are writing. That's maybe this time, maybe we give exam after 5 years. So we should not be trying that. Submit it to me. I mean to say you need to submit to me. You need to take a screenshot and then submit. If you submit there, then how I will see? If anywhere, wherever we are doing something and we are finding that whether we are in the right direction or not, we are not getting by reading the model answers, then the student has to take a screenshot, give the screenshot in the mail so that I can help you. Otherwise, how? But we have discussed those answers, the dividend policy, the cost of capital. For part C, the answers are given now. Or somebody said that, sir, I am not able to see the model answers. Then I said that if you open again, then you will be able to see the model answer. Sometimes it happens. For A, B, C, all the questions on the website. For every question, for every paper, answers are there on the website. For every question. Not a single question is there on the website where the answers are not given. Along with the examiner's feedback for every paper. Marking guidelines, examiner feedback for every paper, for every question. Yes, sometimes it happens when we are doing the working on the website, some functionality does not work. I'm just giving example. Yesterday, when I was doing the paper with strategic level students, I will be opening, then the width of the question was not increasing. Whereas in your class, when I did the paper, the width was increasing. In other batches, it was increasing. Sometimes it happens because so many persons are working on the institute website. For that reason, the bandwidth sometimes creates problem. But all the answers are there, A to Z. Okay. And anywhere after reading the answers, you are finding that still I am correct, but my answer is not tallying with them. Then in that case, what you need to do? You have to send your answers with a screenshot to me. I will analyze whether you are correct or not. I will analyze in front of you only in the class. I will open their answer, your write up. I will give you logical reasoning whether you are correct or not. It's simple, not difficult. If the model answers would not be there, then it is difficult. Now, Sumam was asking beyond budgeting. If I am preparing a budget that next year this will be my sales, this will be my cost, this will be my profit, whether everything will happen like that. Simple thing. If we have prepared a plan that in September we will be giving exams, 2 subjects, other than Mahendra who is giving 2 subjects. I'm talking about those students who have taken the classes for 2 subjects. Just I'm saying. Other than Mahendra, those who have taken the classes, nobody other than Mahendra is giving 2 subjects exam. But everybody started 2 subjects in the month of March. March we started 1 subject, and in April we started another subject. So we planned. But everything is happening as per the plan? No. There are students who are giving 1 subject exam in 1 year. So they will be completing ACCA in 9 years, 10 years. Even though when they join, then they say that, sir, can I give 3-4 exams next term? Give by. But they don't understand it is not so simple. So can we say that once by preparing budget, once by forecasting the things will materialize? Never. We need to work. We need to work on that direction. Then only the actual will come like that. So that is a problem with the budgeting. The second problem with the budgeting is what? When we set a target, when we set a budget, then we work in that direction only. Maybe something new arises, we are not ready for that. Maybe some new situations arises, we are not planned that. When somebody think that today I will do that, then you will be doing that only. You will not be thinking beyond out of box thinking. So beyond budgeting has a problem that you will behave in a constrained manner. You will not be thinking out of the box. You will not be thinking new things. So we say that even though budgeting is essential, planning is essential, but only with budgeting, the results will come, the outcome will be there, is not sure. That is called beyond budgeting. We are not saying that, or the beyond budgeting is not saying that we should not be preparing budgets. We should be having the targets, preparation of budgets should be there. But that doesn't mean that if your budget is ready, everything will be like this. It doesn't happen. We have to work on that direction. We have to think. We need to be futuristic. We need to be open-ended. Whatever new things will arise, we need to take into consideration. We need to control our affairs. Then only the things will be materializing. Otherwise not. That is called beyond budgeting. Nobody had forecasted that in the 2020 Corona will create this issue. If we have made a budget in January 2020 for 2020 for any construction company, entertainment company, are they getting that? No. What is the problem? Not that the human beings are the problem. That's nature, God. But then in this situation, what we should be doing, what we can do so that we can achieve at least some of the targets. So beyond budgeting means just by preparing budgets, the things will materialize, the things will be happening is not sure. Still, you need to do many things other than preparation of budget to get your objective fulfilled. That is called beyond budgeting. Now, whatever I am saying, nowhere in any language in comma full stop it is written. Everybody has his own style. But then the question is that, are we reading I mean to say, if you want to mug up what I am saying, if you want to mug up what Kaplan is saying, if you want to mug up what VPP is saying, all are bad. Because we will not be able to do questions, neither theory, neither any part A or B question, which one is correct. If I am not understanding what is beyond budgeting, if I am concentrating only on the technical language, then to never it will happen. Whatever ever exam we have given, never we will be able to write exactly what is written anywhere, in any book, in any notes. We can't copy paste the same thing. Our write-up will be our own write-up. So whether it's a part C, whether it's part A or B, our understanding should be there. We will be able to score very good marks. But if we try to mug up, remember the sentences, the words and all that, nothing will come. That is called beyond budgeting. Getting my point, Subham and everybody? What is beyond budgeting? We are not saying that now budget should not be prepared. Feedback and feed forward. Feedback means you are doing standard comparison of actual with the budget. And feed forward means you are planning for future. You are not comparing with the past. I will say that TQM, JIT, throughput, target costing, all are feed forward budget, feed forward control. And feedback control is standard budget, that is feedback. On the basis of past, you have set your target for future, and now you are comparing with the actuals. That is called feed forward control, feed forward budgeting. Feedback budgeting. Feed forward means you are not setting your target for future based on past. No. You are analyzing what will happen in future. What is the situation, my competitors, market, customers, everything. You will set a target based on your future scenarios. And then you will compare what will come. Whatever actual outcome is there, then you compare, then you control. So feed forward, feed on the basis of forward. But feedback, feed on the basis of back. Suppose I will say that the way I am studying, I will be able to get 60 marks, but I want 80. So what is the gap? But if I will say feedback, I always scored around 55-60% marks. So this time also I will be getting 60%. I will compare on the basis of my past, the actual outcome. But feed forward means condition in the given situation, in the given scenario, what should be my target? What should I achieve? The way I am working, what I will be able to achieve, but what I want to achieve. So feed forward is thinking, you can see, not past, on future. That is called feed forward control or feed forward budgeting. Just that, everybody, when you are chatting, in the chat there is two. Beside two, there is a drop down arrow. Select drop down arrow. Select everyone, then chat. So that others will be able to understand. Okay? So should we go in mock paper now? For all the skill level subjects, I have prepared two sets of mock papers. One set of mock paper as chapter wise study. For most of the chapters, I have taken some part A, some part B, some part C. I will share today only. And then one mock paper, which you can see exactly of 100 marks, the way the exam will be given, that way I have taken. All taken from institute website. Nothing is new. All taken from institute website, here and there, japa tapa. But then what is the purpose? Nothing will repeat. No question will come. What is there in the mock paper? But when you are doing the mock papers, you are able to analyze yourself, your competency, your understanding. Are you able to answer? So you should try that the chapter wise mock papers, which I am saying, which cannot be done in 3 hours. You should be trying that regularly in 15 days. And another mock paper which I will be giving, that you should try whenever you think that this exam I can give in 3 hours. But everybody should be giving at least 2 to 3 exams in 3 hours. And whatever you are studying regularly, you may have doubts, definitely. So whenever our class is there, send your doubts in the mail before the class only with the screenshot, so that I don't have to go anywhere. I will open your mail and we will discuss your doubts. So that in this 1 month we can work very well. We can prepare well. For any other subject, maybe you are not taking the classes, not an issue. But follow the same strategy. Study mock papers from the institute website, everything, then your confidence level will be very high. That is required, that is must. Along with studying topic wise study, this is a must now. ACCAglobal.com. In ACCA, it is students. Under students, again submenu, in which I will be going study resources. I always say that not a single institute other than ACCA is giving free resources like this. Everywhere you need to purchase CIMA, CPA, CMA, whatever international courses, CFA. Only ACCA Institute is giving all the resources to the students free. You don't have to purchase mock papers, nothing. Everything is freely available. PM, project management. Now again, I am not going into one by one tab, but when I take the first class, I say 1.5 hours, what are there in the different tabs. So here, there is one past exam library, there is CBE past exam, there is CBE specimen, then how to practice. Now in CBE specimen, there is an specimen paper. In CBE past exams, there are many papers, but not all the papers are full of 100 marks. September, December 19, maybe only part A, B is there, maybe only C is there. Question, answer. Question, answer. For every term, question, answers are there. It's not that for any term, question, answer. You will say that before September 2016, in ACCA Institute, skill level exam was pen and paper based. Skill level exam was pen and paper based. For that reason, there are past exam papers library. You can go there. The questions will not be opening in the software like that. It is like PDF file. But you should be solving those questions in your computer screen, Word, Excel. But if I am a student, suppose I am Mahinder, how many questions I can expect I can do? Up till June 2016, there are endless questions, specimen papers. Then they are saying that you can go on practice platform, register yourself, then you will be getting some question papers there also. So how many we will do? Even though if I am giving one single exam, one single subject, then according to me, CBE past exam, CBE specimen paper, and on the practice platform, whatever the things are there, that is more than enough you can do. If you say that, sir, I am studying 20 hours in a day, very well, sir. Then you will be getting time for past exam library. Somebody will say that it is required, according to me, not required. Not required. Because if you are solving 4 years papers, 4-year POC papers, CBE specimen exam, you are solving the practice platform question paper. How many questions you will solve? There is no limit for solving questions. Same thing in a different figure, in a different scenario given again. In exam also different. By doing this much, we will be get confidence that whether we are in the right direction or not. I am going into CBE specimen. In CBE specimen, there is full specimen exam, there is exam constructed response questions, and there is constructed response workplace. Exam constructed response question, some question they have given on part C, not 100 marks. But this full specimen exam is full 100 marks question paper. The way you will be giving exam. In the exam hall, man, when you will be sitting in your home, remote based exam, whenever you will open, it will come like this. As I said earlier also, again, read these instructions once. Not that you will be reading on the day of exam only. Read these instructions once. I am not reading, I am going forward because we don't want to waste our time. So all the instructions, 4 or 5 pages, students should be reading. What they can do, what they can't do. So that we are ready. With the exam formality, with the exam instructions, we are ready. We already know part A, B, C, 3 parts are there. They are asking, do you want to start? Now just for 1 second, I am removing myself. I am there in the back. There is a navigator panel. In the navigator panel, I can open any question anytime. It's not that I need to do first section A, then B, then C. Anytime I can go anywhere with the navigator. Now, whether the student should be doing in the exam part A or B earlier or part C earlier, there is no fixed rule. If you ask me, I am a student, I will be doing in the exam part C earlier. Or if I will be doing part A and B earlier, I will be focusing only on those areas which can be done like this. I will be focusing on those areas which can be done very fast. If I'm there in the exam hall, like you will be giving exam, suppose I'm giving exam, treating myself as Mahinder, Rachna, Subham, anything, those who are, I'm treating myself. If my exam is starting, generally my feeling is that I will be going in part C earlier, but there is a risk in part C, taking more time. So time management, 180 minutes, 100 marks. I take 30 minutes in reading. Reading means part A question, part B question, part C questions. Approximately 30 minutes will be in reading, 2, 4, 5 minutes here and there. So exactly I will be writing my answers for 150 minutes. 100 marks, 150 minutes. So 1.5 minute per mark. So if a question is of 10 marks, I will be giving around 15 minutes in writing, not reading. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes here and there chalega. But for a 10 marks question in part C, I am taking 30 minutes. That means I will not be able to complete my paper. That's guarantee. So I need to constrain in theoretical area where I know that I need to take a particular time. In numericals area, my speed should be better so that I can solve that within the given time. Otherwise, what happens? Not in this exam. In copy pen based exam also, 80% of the student won't complete the paper. If I will not complete the paper, the chances of getting good marks, the chances of passing will reduce. I have to solve for 100 marks paper. So by doing the mock paper on the website, that feeling you will be able to develop. How can you solve the paper so that you can solve it in 100 marks in 3 hours? That practice you cannot do if you go on doing the exam kit and study text paper. That is not allowed. You have to go here. You have to practice from here only. Get the feeling of the software. Get the feeling of what you can do. How can you increase? Nobody can teach you. When you do through 2, 3 times, then automatically you will understand how can I do faster. If I will be doing part C, then for 40 marks, my writing time will be 40 into 1.5, 60 minutes. My reading time in part C can be around 20 minutes for both the questions. That means in total, how much time I can take? 80 minutes, maximum 90. If beyond 90 I'm taking, believe me, the problem will arise. But suppose I went into part C and I'm finding that the first question of part C is not good for me. I'm not very strong in that area. So I left that, I'm not doing that. I went into second question of part C. I found that this is my strong area. I started doing that, read the stuff, then started answering. But in part C also 20 marks question is divided into different parts. A, B, C, A1, B1, whatever. I found that out of 20 marks in second part, 5 marks I don't know. But 15 marks I know very well. So that 15 marks I will solve at that time. If I get the courage to write the 5 marks in fast, it's okay. Otherwise, I will write later. Then in place of going into part C first question, I just completed part C second part. Part C second part, 15 marks, say 15 marks into 1.5, which you can say around 22, 23 minutes. Say in reading the question, I took 10 minutes. That means 30, 35 minutes, I have solved 15 marks. 15 marks, I will not be getting 15 out of 15 if it involves theory. But maybe if my concept is clear, I will be getting at least 10, 12 marks. Because I have done that part which I know very well. Then I went into part A and B through the navigation panel. In part A, I will be doing only those questions which I can do like this. First question I read, I am not getting. I am not reading also. Second one, third one. So 15 question, I am doing those questions which I can do very fast, that is given for me in the exam that day. Maybe suppose 5, 7 question I have solved in around, you can say 15, 20 minutes. 5, 7 question I have solved in part A, 15, 20 minutes. Now I am going into part B. There are 3 portions, scenario based, 1 scenario, 5 questions, second scenario, 5 question, third scenario, 5 question. First scenario, not liking. Second, I am liking. I started doing. Third, I am liking some. Again, in the further 15-20 minutes in part B, whatever I can do very well, I have done. So 10-12 marks I scored in part A. If I have done 5-7 questions in, part C, in 5-7 questions, if I have done that correct, because my confidence level is very high on those, 10-12 marks there. And in part B, where I solved 1 or 2 portions, 5-7 questions, so in 1 hour, around in 1 hour or 70 minutes, you have already scored around, you can say 40-45 marks. That means full 2 hours or 1 hour 50 minutes is still left. And for passing, you require 5-7 marks, maximum 10 marks. That means in further 10-20 minutes, in half of the hour, that is in 1 hour, 3 hour exam, 1.5 hour, 50 marks already scored. Now you can't fail, but still 1.5 hour is left. Now you will be doing all those areas which you cannot do in that 1.5 hour. That was tricky, that is difficult, maybe theory, numerical, whatever. You will be concentrating on those areas which you have not done earlier. Maybe part C first question, maybe part A or B, whatever left. But don't waste your time. Do it fast, because time is important in exam. For wrong A and B, there is no negative marking. For part C also, there is no negative marking. We have to solve entire paper. I can say that in the last 5-10 minutes, something is left. You will not be able to apply your brain. Do Jai Mata Di. But don't leave the paper. Don't leave a single marks question. If you don't know, then also it will not give you any marks. But if you write something and maybe it is correct, maybe, then you will be getting some marks. That way, the planning should be done for exam. Whether you will be doing A and B or part C, it's upon you. But in the class, I am doing part C first, so that we can use some Excel functioning, better we can understand what we can use in Excel, and theoretical areas, how to write. We can go into marking guidelines. We can understand how we can analyze our answers, that we will be able to understand. For that reason, I am going into part C first. Part C, 31 number question. I have increased the size. Sometimes when I am doing the question in the class, I don't able to increase this width. Yesterday it happened. But in your class it is happening. So sometimes it happened that the features which are there in the exam, they are not happening on your screen. They have given the answer. I'm not reading that answer. They have given a symbol. If I will take a symbol, 5 currencies are given. You can select any currency. They have given the calculators, even though physical calculator is allowed, but they have given both the calculators, scientific one and standard one. It's upon you which type of calculator you want to use on screen, on your physical calculator, that's upon you. Scratch pad, since exam is remote based, so all the working you want, you will be doing here only. Whatever you want to do. If you close it, don't take tension. Whatever I have written, everything is still there. Till the time I am giving the exam, it will be still there. It will not be going from here anywhere. Help and formula sheets. You can see that again the instructions for the exams. You can open any time these instructions. But according to me, why you require to open that in the exam? Everything you should be reading now only, that what are the help and formula sheets are. What are the formulas which will be given in the exam, which can be said as formula. It's not that the working capital calculation is a formula or anything which is standard costing. Variance analysis is a formula. No. Variance analysis, there is no formula. It's your understanding how you calculate the variance. If the question is in numericals, then in that case, they will be giving you Excel sheet, the rows and columns. And if the question is theoretical, then they will be giving you the word folder where you will be typing your answers. Presently, I can go anywhere normal. I can say that suppose in this mail, that mail, these all things I can go. But in the exam hall, when the exam will start, my screen will hang. It will not be allowing me to go anywhere. It will be allowing me to go Google or anywhere when I will submit the answer. Presently, it's not the software functionality which is protecting me. So presently, I can go anywhere. I can search Google. I can go on mails anywhere. But in exam hall, once your exam paper will start in front of your screen you can do working only here. It will not allow you to use your keyboard or anywhere to go anywhere else. It will allow you when you submit your answer. Sometimes, very less, sometimes the students submit the answer in 5 minutes only. When you submit the answer, it will be asking, do you want to submit? Still you want to submit. If you submit, then gone. So don't submit your answer before 3 hours. In 3 hours, let automatically be submitted. Then you can go anywhere else. But in the classroom, I can go anywhere else because it is not the exact software which will be running in the exam hall. Now we are reading the question, what they are saying. It is advisable that when you are reading part C question, increase the width so that big font size you will be able to read faster. C company is an electronics company which makes two types of television, plasma screen TV and LCD TV. So company is making two types of television Samsung, they are making two television plasma LCD. It operates within a highly competitive market. The competition is huge from LG and other companies are there. And it's constantly under pressure to reduce prices. Okay. C company operates a standard costing system. I think the question is on variance. And perform a detailed variance analysis of both products on a monthly basis. Operates a standard costing system and performs a detailed variance analysis for both products on a monthly basis. For both the product plasma TV, LCD TV, they calculate variance on monthly basis. Performance evaluation they do on monthly basis. Extract from the management information for the month of November are shown below. Total number of units made and sold 1400. Note 1, that is breakup of LCD and plasma. Material price variance 28,000 adverse. The breakup is given in point number 2. The total labor variance 6050 adverse. The breakup is given in point number 3. Okay. So there are 3 notes. The budgeted total sales volume for a TV was 1180 units, consisting of an equal mix of plasma screen TV and LCD screen TV. The budget total sales volume for TV was 1180. That means we have sold more than budget. For both the TV, our budget was for November 1180 units, but we sold 1400. Fantastic. Actual sales volume was 750 plasma TV and 650 LCD TV. 750 plasma TV, 650 LCD. So total is coming 1400. Standard sale price $350 per unit of plasma and 300 per unit for LCD. So plasma cost selling price is more. Standard selling price, all are budget. The actual sale price achieved during November 330 for plasma, less than money standard, and 290 for LCD, less than for standard. The sale quantity is more, but the sale price is less. The standard contribution for plasma TV and LCD TV are 190 and 180. Standard contribution means standard selling price minus standard cost. Out of 351, 190 is contribution. That means 160 is variable cost. Out of 301, 180 is contribution. That means 120 is variable cost. Okay. If it is required, we will be using that. They have not given the actual variable cost. They have only given the standard variable cost. But actual selling price, standard selling price, actual quantity, standard quantity, both are given. The sole reason for this variance was an increase. That is about material price variance. This was about sales. The note is about material. The sole reason for this variance was an increase in the price of one of its key component X. So in TV, there are many components. One component X prices goes up. Each plasma TV made and each LCD TV made requires 1 unit of component X, for which C company standard cost is 60 per unit. Due to the shortage of components in the marketplace, the market price for November went up to 85 per unit for X. C company actually paid 80 per unit for it. So we thought that we will be able to purchase this component X at the rate of 60. But because of the scarcity of this component in the market price shoot up to 85. But actually we able to procure at 80. So if you compare with 80, it is good. 85. But if you compare with 60, then the standard is not achieved. You can say that giving a feeling of planning and operational variance. 60 to 85 is revision in the price. And 85 to 80 is actually operational. Let's see what they have asked. Don't know. Each plasma TV uses 2 standard hours of labor and each LCD TV 1.5 hours of labor. The standard cost for labor is 14 per hour, and this also reflects the actual cost per hour for the company's permanent staff in November. The standard cost is 14 per hour, and this also reflects the actual cost per labor hour. Rate is same for the company's permanent staff in November. That means the labor rate is not changing. However, because of the increase in the sales and production volume in November, the company also had to use a temporary labor at a higher cost of 18 per hour. The laborers were insufficient, so we had temporary laborers. They have been paid 18 in place of 14. The total capacity of C company's permanent workforce is 2200 hours production per unit. But then 2200 hour, 1400 units we are going to produce in total. We have produced. So 1400 hour, that is more than enough. Assuming full efficiency. In the month of November, the workforce, the first unit was requiring 2 hours. The first unit, how much actual? 750. So 750 into 2, 1500, and 650 into 1.5, 975. So 975 plus 1500, that is coming beyond 2200. Okay. The labor hour required is greater than 2200. Assuming full efficiency. In the month of November, the workforce were wholly efficient, taking exactly 2 hours to compute each plasma TV and exactly 1.5 hour to produce LCD. In the month of November, the workforce were wholly efficient. They are doing the work exactly in the same time which it would be having. The total labor hour variance therefore relates solely to the temporary workers who took twice as long as the permanent workers to complete their production. So the permanent workforce, they took for plasma TV 4 hours and they took for LCD TV 3 hours, double time than the temporary worker. You can say that, the permanent worker. That means the temporary worker are taking more rate, 14 to 18, and they are working inefficiently. Very bad, you can say. Before reading the requirement, what do you think? What will be the time required to read the scenario? What will be the time it will be required in the exam to read the story relating to part C? This much story generally they give. How much time, how much minutes it will take? 5 to 7 minutes. That means in 5 to 7 minutes you have completed your reading. Now while answering the question, you need to read the answers also. So I can say that 2-3 minutes you will be taking that, you will be planning your answer. So in 10 minutes you can read. In 10 minutes you can read the second question. So out of 30 minutes for reading, 20 minutes gone. And 10 minutes you will be taking in part A and B questions, reading and all that. Whereas in part A, there is selection. Maximum question are selecting the correct. You don't have to write anything. Reading is actually answering. But still I can see that answering part is different. So according to me, my understanding, 30 minutes is going into reading all over. So you should target that for every mark you should be taking 150 minutes. I mean to say 1.5 minutes. So if a question of 2 marks, you can take 2 into 1.5, 3 minutes, not more than that. If you are taking more than 3 minutes, then you have to save somewhere greater than 3 minutes, then only. Otherwise you can't. Calculate the following for the month of November, showing all working clearly. The sales price variance and sales volume contribution variance, 4 marks. Now you understand that sale price variance 2 products, 1 mark. Sales volume variance 2 products, 1 marks. So 4 variance, 4 marks. Whatever you will be doing correct, you will be getting marks. The material price planning variance and material price operational variance 2 marks. Price planning 1 mark, price operational 1 mark, 6 marks. The labor rate variance and the labor efficiency variance. Now the labor rate variance will be coming only for temporary worker. For permanent worker, there is no rate variance. Similarly, labor efficiency will be coming for temporary worker. It will not be coming for that, but it is giving 5 marks. Even though they are 2 variants, but they are giving 5 marks, 2.5 for rate, 2.5 for efficiency. Or maybe for rate, they are giving 2 marks, for efficiency 3 marks, I don't know. That means this question is purely numericals. Now, if I am on the Excel sheet, I will copy this. I will be pasting here. No, it is not happening. In exam, it will be happening. Sometimes it doesn't happen on the institute website because of the bandwidth and everything. But it is happening in other classes. Like it doesn't happen in the FM paper also, I think. The copy paste function is allowed. You will be able to copy paste from here something to here. I'm just saying because somebody will think that ये नहीं allowed. नहीं हो रहा है यार. आप time save कर सकते हैं, but मैं कर नहीं पा रहा हूं. I'm not able to do because it is not happening. But in exam it will happen. Sales. So before writing, I can just say that there is a edit option here. In the edit option, if you go in paste special, in the paste special, you will be copying and pasting the way you like. Same format. That means it will not be going changing the columns. It will be copying in the same format if I will select this. And then okay. Whatever copy, then go in editing. In edit paste for special, paste special, select the format and then okay, it will be copy paste in the Excel sheet in the same format only. You don't have to change the format. So many times it is a very useful function. So suppose I want to increase the font size for the class so that we can understand better. I'm making the font size 20. And I'm slightly increasing the answer side. Why I have reloaded again? Many times when we are working on the institute website, the full Excel does not open. And I want full Excel. For that reason, I have done this again. If I am doing on my screen this much length, I don't require. But since I'm in the class, you will not be able to see the figures properly. I have increased the sizes. Similarly, when you are working on mock paper on in front of you, you will be able to analyze what you should be doing. How much screen for question, how much for answer, what length and all that. That you will be able to analyze on your own. Nobody can help you. But if you don't practice, you will be realizing that I should have practiced what sir was saying. I am saying around 1 month before already. If we will follow that, the marks will be more, the speed will be better. Just by study, we cannot pass. We need to be studying in the right direction. Studying is a different thing. Passing the exam is a different thing. There are students who study very well, but they don't pass the exam. There are students who are studying less, but they pass the exam. So exam passing is a different criteria. You need to follow the exam passing criteria. Sales, price variance, plasma TV. Now whatever I am writing, it is not essential that you will be writing that only. It's upon you. I will not be changing the font size in exam. Reason being that I've seen that when I'm changing the font size, I need to increase the width of the rows also. So it is taking time. Not a problem. Plasma TV. Budgeted price. Actual price. Actual quantity. Somebody will say that whether they will give marks by these short figures, 100%. Don't think that they will not give you marks. Plasma TV. Then comes LCD TV. So budgeted price, they have given 350. And LCD TV, they have given 300. Actual price, they have given 350, 300. Actual price 290 and 180. No, sorry. 330 and 290. And the quantity 750 and 650. Okay. Again, you can see that It is only showing 2-3 rows. Again, I need to reload. But it will not happen in exam, because in the institute website, how many students are working on the website at a time? Can't imagine. So the bandwidth is required, no? But in the exam, on the software, you are only working, nobody is there. So that bandwidth is not required. That's the issue. Okay. So we need to understand that everything cannot be done, because if there will be a software in which you are only working, then in that case it will be working very well. Not an issue. We have to compromise on this. So 330, actual price 330, and then 290. The actual quantity 750, 650. So variance that is 20 into 750. 20 into 750 is 15,000. No? 20 into 750 is 15,000. No calculator required. Adverse, why? Because the actual sale price is lower. In the second one, 650 into 10. 650 into 10 is 6,500. That is also adverse. 6,500 adverse. So total 15,000 plus 6,500, 21,500 adverse. There is no calculator required, because we can do verbally also. 750 into 20, 650 into 10 straight away. Now comes sales volume, variance. Sales volume variance. The columns are already done. Budgeted contribution. Budgeted contribution was 190 and 180. 190 and 180. Again reload. That is happening only on the institute website, because of the bandwidth, because of the so many persons are using the institute website. In exam it will not be happening, don't worry. Sales volume variance. Budgeted contribution. Budgeted contribution is, again I forgot, 180 and 120, na? 180 and 120. So actual contribution. Can anybody say what will be the actual contribution? 190 and 180. Sure? Okay, sorry. 190 and 180. Can anybody say what is actual contribution? Actual contribution. Anybody? Actual contribution. Mahendra, Mohammad Gausia, Nan, Rachna, Subham, Sumit. Can anybody help me with the actual contribution per unit? How you are getting 170? How you are getting 170? When we calculate sales variances, the cost is constant. We don't consider actual cost. Even though actual cost is not given in the question also, even though if it is given, we will not consider. The contribution will be calculated with actual selling price minus standard cost. So actual selling price is $20 less. So actual contribution is $20 less. Actual selling price is $20 less. So actual contribution is $20 less. This is also 170. Why? Because actual selling price is $10 less. So actual contribution $10 less. Budgeted quantity. Do they have given the quantity of both the products separately? They have given 1180 units. Do they have given the 1180 separately? That how much quantity we are going to sell? They have written consisting of an equal mix. They have written equal mix. So what should be the quantity? At budgeted quantity 1180 by 2 590 590 actual quantity 750 650 variance. The volume variance is difference between volume multiplied by the budgeted contribution. Actual contribution we don't require. 590 to 750, 160 more. 160 into 190. Then 590 to 650, 60 more. 60 into 180. So 190 into 170. What is the first one? 30,400. 30,400 favorable. This one 60 into 180. 60 into 180. 60 into 180. 60 into 180. 10,800. Both are favorable. Why? Because the actual quantity is more. So 30 plus 10, 40,000, 41,200. 41,200 favorable. When we require actual contribution, where we require in calculating which variance we will be using actual contribution per unit. In calculating which variance we will be using actual contribution per unit. Because here I have not used. Where I will be using? Where I will be using actual contribution per unit. Actual contribution can be used in calculating sales price variance. In place of calculating sales price as a difference between 350 to 330, I can calculate 190 to 170, 20. In place of calculating 300 to 290, I can calculate 180 to 170 difference. Why the difference is same? Because it is the difference because of change in sale price, not because of change in cost. So we are actually calculating sales price variance only. But in the entire standard costing, material usage, labor efficiency, sales volume, everywhere you take standard. So you need to take 190 and 180 only. You don't have to take 170 and 170. The actual price, actual contribution we don't require in variance. Because when we calculate price variance, it is difference in price. When you calculate volume and all that, it is multiplied by standard price. So for that reason, 170 is a googly, just for understanding in the class. In sales volume variance, you are comparing the volume with the standard margin, multiplying with the standard margin, not by actual. The difference in the price is already considered in price variance. So if you multiply with 170, there will be double counting or difference in price. So there is no question of calculating price variance separately. So if these four things are correct, then we will be getting 4 marks. Then comes Roman 2, which is material price variance. Material price variance. For material price variance, first of all, MPV is what? Standard price, actual price, actual quantity. That's the story. But if it is planning, what we do in planning variance? The actual is replaced by revised standard. So it is standard price, revised standard price, and in actual quantity it is revised standard quantity. So in planning variance, standard price was 60, revised standard price 85. What should be the quantity? What should be the quantity? The quantity should be for 1400 TVs, one component each. For both the TV, one component. So 1400. So what is the variance? 1400 into 25. 14,000, 14,000, 7,000. 35,000. 35,000 adverse. And if I will go operational, then we say revised standard price, actual price, actual quantity. In case of operational variance, you compare with revised. In case of planning variance, we don't compare with revised. So revised standard price 85, actually is 80. And actual quantity is also 1400. They have said that they have used one component for one computer. One TV. So it is 1400 into 5. 7,000 favorable. For planning variance, 35,000 price is more adverse. But for operational variance, in place of 85, the rate is 80. So it is $5, 1400 into 5, 7,000 favorable. If this is correct, then we will be getting 2 marks more. 4 plus 2, 6. Then comes Roman 3, which is asking labor efficiency variance. Roman 3, labor efficiency variance. They have produced actual quantity 750 of plasma and 650 of LCD. That they are saying. Standard hours. The standard hours should be how much? For 750 TV into 2 and for 650 TV into 1.5. For 1 TB of plasma 2 hours, for 1 TB of LCD 1.5 hour. So what should be the standard hour? 1500 and 975. So 2475 hours. 2475 hours. Now the Jamela is actually actual hours. Actual hours. That's the big story in the question. The Jamela is actual hours. They are saying that when the permanent workers are working, they are working as per efficiency. But when the temporary workers are working, they are working inefficiently, they are taking double time. They have said that the permanent hours is available 2200, I think. The permanent hours 2200. So in 2200, how many TVs we can produce? Say plasma, 750 into 2, 1500 hour is still 700 hour. So in 700 hour, how much I can produce the LCD? 700 divided by 1.5, how much it will come? Sorry, 750 TV of plasma, 750 into 2, 1500. And in balance, 2200 minus 1500, 7000 hour. In 7000 hour, how much LCD TV I can produce? 7000 divided by 1.5. 7000 divided by 1.5. How much? 4666.6. 7000 by 1.5. I am doing wrong. Sorry, 700. Sorry. 700 divided by 1.5. That means the LCD TV should have been produced in 466.67 hour, but they have been produced. I mean to say the balance TV are produced in double hour. The balance TV 750 minus 466.67. That is produced in 3 hours. So you can say that whatever is the number of TV multiplied by 3 hours will give you the extra time taken in actual hours. That will give you inefficiency. Okay. So how I will work this? 850. We will take 1 second. The production possible in 2200 permanent hours. Plasma TV 750 units, 2 hours each, 1500 hours. Then LCD TV, the total is 2200 hours. So this is 700 hours. This is 1.5. So the number of units 700 by 1.5. Wrongly taken for whatever, not a problem. We will check. 700 by 1.5 is how much? 466.67. So balance plasma. Balance LCD, sorry. Balance LCD, which is how much? 650 minus 466.67. How much? We have produced 650 TV. For 650 TV, 466 is produced by the normal worker. 183.33 units. Actual time taken Actual time taken 183.33. 183.33 into 3. Double time they have taken. So that is coming how much? 550 hours. So total actual time is what? 2200 plus 550 equals to 2750 hours. So labor efficiency variance. The standard hour is 750 into 2. Sorry, I have already calculated 2475. Actual hour 2750. The whole thing into standard rate 14 per hour. So what is the labor efficiency variance? The work which should have been done in 2475 hour, that is done in 2750 hours. Extra hour into standard rate. So what is the variance? Labor efficiency variance. $3850 adverse. 3850 adverse. And then they have asked the labor rate variance also. Labor rate variance. For 1400 hour, there is no 2200 hour, there is no rate variance. The rate is 14 minus 18. But that is only for 550 hours when the temporary worker worked. So it is 2200 adverse. The labor rate variance is not there for 2200 hours when the permanent worker works. But when the temporary worker works, then in that case, they have taken in place of 1418, $4 more. For 550 hour, 2200 adverse. So that is labor rate variance. Both are based on calculation of 550. If the 550 calculation is wrong, your labor rate and efficiency will be wrong. So definitely they must have given the marking guidelines on 550 calculation also. Are we getting the all three questions answer? The sales variance, the material planning and operational variance, and the labor rate and efficiency variance. Any question? Should we proceed? I will see the answer what they have done. But before proceeding, now this is the answer. In exam, this will not be opening. In the previous class, yesterday when I was doing, this was not happening. The increase in the widths and all that were not happening. The sales price variance 21,500. The sales volume variance 41,200. 35,000 adverse, 7,000 favorable. Then 550 extra hours, 14, 18, 2200 adverse, and 3850 adverse. Everything is correct. Sales price variance 1 mark, sales price variance LCD 1 mark, plasma and this 1 mark, 1 mark, material price planning operational 1 marks, actual hour work 330 calculation is for 3 marks. Sorry, 550. If your 550 hour calculation is correct, then 3 marks. And then labor rate, labor efficiency 1 mark, 1 mark. So understand that if your 3 number is wrong, 550 you are not able to calculate, then the labor rate efficiency is also gone. So 5 marks gone. Like similarly in the theoretical part also they have given where the marking guidelines on what they are giving marks in theory question also. Now, definitely as per my understanding on this calculation, the theory is based. The sale price variance is adverse. but the sales volume variance is favorable. Then in that case, you need to take help from anybody else. It is there always, but why it is not showing in your case, don't know here. It should be there. I can say one more thing. If I can help you, 1 second. If I will go in paper-based exam, paper-based. Actually, in paper-based exam, all the answers are there. All which are in the CBE based. But this one is not there. That CBE is specimen exam answers are not there. It will be here only. So it is not. Can you open that on another machine? Do you have only one computer or laptop? Or do you have anyone else? It will work. For every question, there are double answers they have given. The question other than this, the CBE specimen other than this, there is a CBE paper. When you go in paper based, then the answers are there. But for this, it is here only, sir. Yesterday also in the FM, it was not opening. Yes, open on another machine, it will work. Now, why it is not working in that machine, nobody can see. And if you ask the institute, they will take time. So there is not requirement. I am saying that here the sales price variance is adverse, but the volume variance is favorable. That means in this competitive market, we are able to increase the quantity. The competition is there, they have mentioned, but still we are able to sell more than the budget. But by reducing the prices, is it advisable to reduce the price and increase the quantity? Is it advisable? According to me, in short run maybe yes, but in long run no. Because when you reduce the prices, customer will be asking further lower. How you will survive? If the quantity is increasing with the increase in price, it's okay. But if the quantity is increasing by reduction in the price, that is long term not sustainable. So I can say that in the company, why the sale price is going down, why they are facing so much pressure, they should not focus on decreasing the price by increasing the quantity generally. The second, the material price variance should be divided between two parts, planning and operational. Otherwise, the purchase manager will be held responsible for nothing. When the price in the market is already because of unavailability of the material 60 to 85, how he will be able to purchase at 60? So if we normally calculate 60 to 80, it will be adverse. But we are saying that it is 85 to 80, it is favorable. That means when we are doing the planning, maybe we need to increase our planning process. Why we have planned 60 when the actual is 85? So the planning, those who are doing the planning, they need to be more careful. But the operational, the purchase manager, which purchasing the material, he is very good. As far as labor, the variance is there only because of temporary workers. Why we are not increasing our labor force? If we know that the laborers will be required more, we will be able to sell more, we should increase permanent laborers so that we can train them and they will be working efficiently for us. Because with the temporary worker, we are paying more also and they are working inefficiently also. That we are getting, obviously the question will be on those directions only. Whatever calculations you have done, on the basis of that, the questions are there. Explain the reasons why C company would be interested in the material price planning variance and material price operational variance. 9 marks. They are not asking relating to labor. They are not asking relating to sales. They are only asking relating to material price planning and operational. So if you are there in the exam hall, I will say that first explain planning and operational variance. What is that? Planning, God, Corona. Operational, staff. You cannot write like this. I am just saying that. It's a 9 marks question. 9 marks means 9 into 1.5. 13 minutes you will be writing. It's not that you have to write 13 minutes. If you think that you can write in 10 minutes, save your 3 minutes, use somewhere else. Because where we will save. But just that when 9 marks is there, that means they are asking a detailed write-up. So before explaining about the question, about the scenario, you need to explain planning and operational variance. That's something when we project, when we plan, we budget, we set the standards. We don't know what will actually happen. And in the actual world, when something happens which was beyond imagination, it is not logical that we will be comparing the performance of the manager, concerned manager, on the basis of original standard. We should be revising the standards because something may be like material or laborers or anything, something happened which was not forecasted earlier. So for variance, we should be dividing the variance into two parts. One is planning, one is operational. Planning is what is the variance due to change in the revision, change in the standard. And operational means what is the variance due to performance of the manager who is holding that responsibility, so that we can take a proper call. In this case, now I will say that material price variance in the above, about that I will explain. In the above means here the material price was estimated as 60, but because the component X was not available properly in the market, so the price is already in the market 65. And the purchase manager has purchased the component at 80 only. That means the 60 to 85 is operational variance, which is planning variance, which is beyond the control of the purchase manager, and 80 to 85 is an operational variance. What is the benefit of this? If we are doing that, the manager will be satisfied. Purchase manager will not be demotivated. Because if you calculate 60 to 80, 20 adverse, he will be thinking that he is doing best, but still he is not getting the reward. So he will be dissatisfied. He will be leaving the organization. Then in that case, the company need to hire new persons. There will be problems. But if the company will be evaluating the variance on the basis of planning and operational, a logical evaluation of the operational managers can be done. That will be helping in the growth, in the, you can say, motivation of the managers. That will be helping in that. And for planning, we need to check that why we have not been able to plan, say, 85. Those who are involved in the planning, they need to plan in much better way by taking into consideration the factors which can arise. Because if something which was not possible, corona not possible, that's okay. But if something which can be planned, why it is not incorporated in the planning? So that I will say that should be written. Now whatever I am saying, whatever you will write, whatever they have written, if 5,000 students are giving exam for PM, 5,000 student write-up will be different. My objective, your objective is to not mug up the write-up. My objective is just to see how they are writing. Is I was thinking in the right direction or not? There is no comma, full stop, language. We can say that. No, it is not. Before the material price planning and operational variance were calculated, the only information available as regards material purchasing was that there was an adverse variance of 28,000. Because in place of 60, it is 80, 20 more, so 14 into 20, 28,000. The purchasing department will be the purchasing department efficiency. The reason it is not a reliable indicator is because the market conditions can change, leading to an increase in the price. And this change in market condition is not within the control of the purchasing department. By analyzing the material price variance further and breaking it down into two components, planning and operational, the variance actual becomes a more useful assessment tool. The planning variance represents the uncontrollable element and the operational variance represents the controllable portion. The planning variance is rarely useful for providing feedback on just how skilled management is in estimating future prices. This can be very easy in some businesses and very difficult in many. Giving this detail could help in improved planning and standard setting in the future, as management will be increasing awareness of factors which could create volatility in the price or anything. The operational variance is more meaningful in that it measures the purchasing department efficiency given the market conditions. which prevailed at the time. As can be seen in C card, the material price operational variance is favorable, which demonstrate that the purchasing department manager to acquire the component which was a short supply at a better price than the expected price. Without this breakdown in the variance, the purchasing department could have been held accountable for the overall adverse variance, which was not indicative of their actual performance. This is then a fairer method of assessing performance and will in turn stop staff from becoming demotivated. Controllability, 2 marks. MP planning, 3 marks. MP operational, 3 marks. Other plan and proper, 1 marks. So they are saying that if the student is writing, which can be controlled, which can be not controlled, 2 marks. If the student is writing relating to material planning variance in this example, why the planning variance arises, 3 marks. If the student is writing relating to material planning operational variance, then 3 marks. And any other thing which the student will write, 1 marks. That is the marking guidelines. But that doesn't mean that you need to write exactly the same sentences. I can say that if you read this 5,000 times, then also the comma full stop write-up will be different. So nowhere whenever you are studying, try to mug up the sentences either beyond budgeting or anything. You will not be able to remember. I will not be able to remember exactly what I am reading, comma full stop. I need to keep myself always try to understand things better so that I can reproduce in my own way. So when I am the examiner and they are saying about controllability, the student is not writing why they have calculated 2 separate variances. How that can be controlled? I will not be giving him 2 marks. Then the planning variance is giving 35,000. Why the planning variance is arising? What is standard and revised standard? What will be the benefit of planning variance for better planning? I will not be giving 3 marks. Then operational. The operational variance, the manager is actually responsible. He has performed better. The revised price is 85. He has purchased at 80 only. So he will be motivated. If I will not write, I will not be getting marks. Any other thing, if I want to write, I can write. I mean to say that if you are writing the answer to the question, you will be getting marks. But if you are not writing the answer to the question, you are writing something else. Maybe you are writing fantastic, but the marks will be 0. You need to exactly understand what they are asking in the question. Explain the reason why C company would be interested in material price planning and material price operational variance. Why any organization is interested in breaking the variance into planning and operational variance. If I can do the calculations correct, I can write the theory also correct. There is no difference between theory and numericals. Some chapters like target costing, life cycle costing, environmental accounting, the initial chapters, there are huge theoretical area. In budgets also, theoretical area, where there is no numericals. I can say that slightly we need to be more reading the stuff. But in all other areas, where theory, numerical, both are there. If your understanding is there, you will be able to do both the things. Just that you need to read the question carefully, what it is asking. How I will design my answer, what I will be writing. Then only I will be getting proper marks. You cannot match the sentences, comma, full stop in any answer. Neither in exam kit, neither here, anywhere. You cannot exactly write whatever I am saying. My style is different. Your style is different. Your English may be better than me. You will be able to build up a better literature. That's English test is not going on. We should be writing the answers, very small answer. Just an example. Just one thing I want to communicate here. Okay. This is a student. He is giving auditing and FM exam. Okay. Now in the question, just for understanding purpose, there is a question on audit risk and auditor's response. That is the institute answer. This is the question and this is his answer. Okay. Now in this answer, suppose he is writing refurbishment line of ergometers. You can see that the 5 lines are written without any comma, full stop. If we will be making such a lengthy sentences, the interpretation will create a problem. You cannot make a sentence of greater than 1 or 2 lines. Otherwise, the interpretation which you are thinking and whatever you are writing will not be coming same. Small, small sentences, simple English. It is not a literature test. It is a test that what you know you are communicating to me. The second thing, what he has written is totally wrong. Reason being that we are discussing here in this question, what we are discussing, material planning and operational variance. Who will decide this? The company's management accountant, the company's operational staff and all that. An auditor is not going to check operational and planning variance. The auditor is checking the financials. The auditor is checking the loopholes in the financials, window dressing. The auditor is checking misstatement in the financials. The auditor is not concerned with the business of the organization. If you are the auditor of Saraf Academy, how I am teaching my students, I am covering the syllabus or not, are the students are satisfied? That is not the job of the auditor. The auditor job is whether the PL account, balance sheet, assets, liability, income, expenditure, that is correct. Where the risk is there. So he is writing in the answer entirely business risk, which is a part of financial management, performance management. But he is writing in audit risk, the performance and financial management. While reading the answer, we need to understand that are we writing exactly wrong? The language we are not checking. Same time. In the exam, in the theory also, this is a table row you can insert. Suppose I want to write a question in table form. I have made these many columns. Ready. Now I can type whatever I like. It's not that in the, I meant to say, normal window feature. There is insert table is there. You can make columns and rows. So in the exam, still there is no problem. How many width? No issue. In Excel, the column and rows are already there. In Word file also, if you want to present your answer in the form of column tables, you can take a table. You can take reason column select. When we will come to know? When we will be doing everything on the screen continuously for 1 month. Our speed will be better and we will be able to use all the functionalities which are there. So that doesn't mean that the student is getting this. They have written the answer like this. We can't write in exam. We can. It's not that we have to. It's not that if you are writing like this, it's wrong. There is no issue. They have written the answer in table format. You are writing an explanation. But the explanation should be related to the question. We are writing business risk. They are asking audit risk. Number will not be allowed. Most of the points are written wrong. Maybe the student is writing 1.5 page. Okay. Length is very good. After the exam is over, 10 marks question. I may get 6-7 marks. The student will think. But the student will not be given greater than 1 or 2 marks. Because his answer is totally wrong. He is writing business risk. The question is audit risk. There is a big difference between audit risk and business risk. I am just giving this example that when you are writing your answer, you have to compare with the institute answer. And you need to analyze that if you are totally different, maybe you are correct. But if you are not getting, then you need my help. That whether I have written correct or not. Because then how the clarity will come? Because in the exam, if the same thing relating comes, how you will be able to understand? That I want. Because for that reason, we see the answers, the marking guidelines. Are we in the right direction or not? It's not a difficult question. If somebody can calculate planning and operational variance, he can write a good answer on this. Maybe the student will not be getting 9 marks, but he can easily score 5-6 marks in this part, whatever you will write. If your understanding relating to planning and operational variance are correct. So I'm interested in moving to the next question. Any query in this question? The next question of 20 marks. Anybody has any query? So going into next question, next 20 marks question in part C. Now it is first of all theory only. Let's see. TIP is a theme park. You can say in Kolkata, Nico Park, Disneyland, whatever. Why I always go into that? So that I can goes into the shoes of the organization. They are naming the organization, what they are doing. If we are not understanding, our write-up in theory will not be perfect. We need to go into the shoes of the organization, what they are doing. So it's a theme park and has for many years been a successful business, which has traded profitably. So they are doing very good business, the profitable company. They are running their theme park very well. About 3 years ago, the directors decided to capitalize on their success and reduce the expenditure made on new thrill rides. About 3 years ago, the directors decided to capitalize on their success, okay, and reduce the expenditure made on new thrills rides. That means new innovation they were doing less for last 3 years. Reduced routine maintenance wherever possible. Deciding instead to repair equipment when it breaks down. The regular maintenance will be less. Whenever there will be breakdown, they will be doing the repair. That they have done for last 3 years. And made a commitment to regularly increasing admission prices. And made a commitment to regularly increase admission prices. That means for rides, they are increasing the prices. Once an admission price is paid, customers can use any of the facilities and rides for free. That means in the theme park, once you go inside the theme park, all the rides are free. Once an admission price is paid, customer can use any of the facilities and rides for free. Okay. That means there is no separate charges for rides. Like in Kolkata, there is an eco park. There are many rides. Around 60% of rides are covered in the payment. Suppose you go in on one day, suppose tomorrow, 15th August, I am going there. In the morning, 10 a.m. I reach there. I can be there inside, say maybe up till 4, 5, whatever is my capacity. So there are rides which I can do any number of times based on the subscription. That is around 500 in 500 INR, many subscription. But there are many rides which are not covered in that. That is written. Here there is nothing. Every rides is covered in that subscription. These steps increase the profits considerably, enabling good dividends to be paid to the owners. These steps increase the profits considerably. Cost less, revenue more, fantastic. Enabling good dividends to be paid to the owners. The company is able to pay dividend to shareholders more and more. And bonuses to directors. Directors are getting more bonus. The last 2 years of the financial results are shown below. So 14 and 15, the sales is more. The wages are less. The maintenance routine costs are less. The repairs are high because we are doing the repair on the basis of breakdown. Director salaries are more. Director bonus are also more. Other costs including depreciation are lower. Net profit, it is higher, very high actually, because we are controlling both the things. More sale, less cost. Book value of assets at the start of the year, dividend paid, and number of visitors. The assets are less in the current year as compared to last year. TIP operates in a country where the average rate of inflation is around 1% per annum. So they are not in India, they are in US, you can say, where the inflation rate is 1%. Because in India, inflation rate is around 5 to 6% generally. But there the inflation rate is 1%. Now, from which chapter this question may be? From which chapter the question may be? Performance evaluation. This type of question can come in FM, FR, PM, all three subjects. These are common area. Analyzing the financials more and more, PL account, balance sheet, FR. Analyzing the financial angle, FM. Analyzing the costing angle, cost control, sales revenue and all that, PM. But the same performance evaluation chapters are there in all the three syllabus. So this is a performance evaluation area. On the basis of this, definitely they must be asking you write up on performance evaluation of the company. Assess the financial performance of TIP using the information given above. 14 marks. 14 into 1.5. You can say 21 minutes. So we will be taking 21, 22 minutes to write. And the question is single line financial performance. So how you will write the financial performance? What we are going to write in the answer? What information they have given us? Only the income statement. Some information they have given us on dividend payment also. Some information they have given us on number of visitors also. Some information they have given us, we can calculate return on assets also. Because book value of assets they have given. I think that for explaining I need to do some calculations. I can calculate net profit margin. You can say net profit divided by sales. I can calculate return on assets. That is 1045 by 13,000, 1372 by 12,000. I can calculate asset turnover. That is sales divided by asset 5250 by 1045 and 5320 by 1372. I can calculate some of the increase in the expenditures or decrease, wages gone down, or I can calculate percentage. Last year 2500 by 5250, this year 2200 by 5320. Maintenance routine 80 by 5250, 70 by 5320. Repairs 260 by 5250, 320 by 5320. I can calculate the percentage movement 260 to 370. What is the percentage increase? Director salaries 150 to 160 percentage increase. Bonus percentage increase. Dividend percentage increase. Number of visitors percentage decrease. Decrease is there. 150 to 140, 10 by 150 percentage decrease. Now, whatever I have said, if I will do all these calculations, do you think that I will be able to write properly? If the question is based on so many calculations, then why they have not given the Excel? Why they are giving the Word file? Why they are giving the Word file while they are not giving the Excel? In the previous question, when the variance was there, they have given Excel. Here, when the ratio calculation is there, why they are not giving Excel? That means you need to understand that your calculations involve very less marks. Your write-up involves more and more marks. But some basic calculation you should be doing. You cannot do so many calculations which I started saying. That is, I am going in wrong direction. Problem will happen what? If I will do all these calculations which I am saying, I think my 15 minutes will be gone in doing these calculations only. Even then, if I am a very speedy person, I will be getting the time to write up. What I will write? Net profit margin gone up, cost has gone up, then dividend has gone up, number of visitors gone down, that's all. I will be getting out of 14, maximum 4 to 5 marks, maximum. Because the calculation does not involve more than 1/3 marks, according to me. Out of 14, you have done only calculations. You have interpreted the question wrong. So your analysis is not good. The marks will be very less. Which generally happen with many students. They get carried away. Whether the question comes in FM and FR also, the same problem is there. They do go on calculating the ratios. They don't focus on what they are asking. Assess the financial performance. We are not a bacha class student that we are just calculating the ratio. We will say percentage gone up, percentage gone down and all that. They have given us the calculations also, figures also, and they have given us the background of these figures also. We need to be at a next level. We need to write our answers in a proper way. Suppose I am writing about the sales revenue. I will say that the sale revenue has gone up, but the number of visitors has gone down. The per visitor, earlier we were charging 5250 by 150, but now we are charging 5320 by 140. We can understand that maybe we have been able to increase our revenue because of increase in the prices, but we are suffering in terms of quantity. That means the customers are not interested in paying that prices which we are charging. So maybe we have been able to increase our income and sales, but long run, This is not a good strategy. We are not able to give value for money to the customers at these prices. That means we are in the wrong track, wrong direction. We are not a normal person in the exam. We are not giving the fundamental knowledge level exam. We are not giving a BCom exam, or we are not giving 11-12 exam where we write percentage increase. The more analysis you write, the more marks you will score. So if in exam 20 minutes you take 4 or 5 minutes in calculation and you write 15 minutes your answer, 1 minute your speed should be 1.5 line. So 15 minutes your speed, you will be writing 20-25 lines. Then only you can explain your thought process. And then only the marks will be out of 14, 9, 10 marks. Otherwise it will be 4 or 5 only. We will think that we have done 20 ratio calculations, written something, we will be getting 7 marks. That's the wrong concept. That is the problem. That is not the right direction. The question is not numerical. The question is theoretical. So one area, according to me, the focus should be given on sales and the number of visitors, because they are correlated. The second area should be related with the, I will say that, return on assets, profit by assets, and the sales by, you can say, elasticity. You can explain elasticity. And the second area is sales divided by assets. So the sales divided by asset is very high. 5250 by 1045, 5320 by 1372. I think it is lower. No, sorry, net profit I am taking. No, sorry. 5250 by 13,000 and 5320 by 12,000. That means assets are being used in a better way. You can say sales are increasing. And net profit margin 1045 by 13,000, 1372 by 12,000. Very high. So our return on assets in current year is very high as compared to last year. But the question is that, can we sustain that? They have already written that since last 3 years, they are investing in the business very less. They are investing in the new rights very less. So return on capital employed is more because of lower asset base. Assets are lower. We are not doing the innovations in the rights. So we are increasing prices and not giving innovation. How can we say that we can sustain? We are deteriorating the quality and we are increasing the price. Maybe both should be in consonance. If you are increasing the quality, you can increase the price. But if you are reducing the quality, how can you reduce the price? How can, man? You can't. You are controlling the expenditures. Wages, maintenance cost you have reduced. That means the permanent staff has reduced, or maybe the maintenance staff has been reduced, but that is creating problem on repairs. The repairs has gone up from 260 to 320, high percentage. Whether you get the time to calculate the percentage, not required. You need to explain. The director salaries have gone up because the director are getting incentive bonus based on increase in the profit. But whether the customers are satisfied, whether your strategy is in the wrong direction, are you doing your business in the wrong direction? Your profit is there. You are not investing in the business for new rights. You are not doing repair and maintenance on regular basis. You are doing the, I mean to say, repair when the breakdown arises, but that costs are continuously increasing. So whether it is justified that the policy which we are following is going to give us good results in future, because our customers are dissatisfied, they are not getting the value for money, the customer has gone down, the wages and maintenance cost has gone down, we have reduced the maintenance staff, the wages, the permanent workforce has reduced. For that reason, the repair work, the director salary has gone up. I can say that this is a bad indication about future. Maybe the past was good, but the future may not be good. Not 100% sure, may not be good. The company need to check on their policy in long term. Their strategic directions are not in the right way. The financials are giving good results. So if a novice person have not studied properly, don't have knowledge, he will say profit is more, sales is more, return on assets is more, dividend is more, fantastic company, invest in the company, give loan, purchase shares, give credit to the company. Financials are good. But going forward, how much they will be able to generate income is a big question mark, because their policies are not in the right direction because of the one reason, that is the number of visitors. The people are not interested in coming in this theme park. The prices are more, the volume are less. So I mean to say that you need to go into crux of the area. Just don't just jump into in the answer writing anything. Every question has a logical requirement. You need to understand the thing. You need to understand exactly what they are asking, why they have given Word file, why they have not given Excel. That means the question 70-80% is on theoretical explanation. Theoretical explanation cannot be gone up, gone down, or this. And when we do part A and B questions, that same problem arises because we want to be very mechanical in giving answer. But all theoretical question in part A and B are like understanding these aspects. When we are reading a question and it is theory, whether it's a life cycle, anything, if we are not getting into the shoes of the question, we will not be able to select the correct answer. And in the numericals, in part A and B, whenever you start reading numericals, any figure, you start doing calculation in your brain. Not that whatever question we are doing will be coming in the exam. That is not the purpose. But each I am in a right direction. Each I am able to think properly. Each I am able to do faster calculations. That need to be checked now. The questions which we have done in the past from exam kit and all that you have done. Maybe you have revised again, not revised, not a problem. Go here and do all these questions in writing. All these. Because ample of time is there for the exam. Tomorrow is not the exam. When you will be finding that these areas are not good, you will be revising them from the book, from the study text, doing that. Then again you will be doing mock paper. That way the practice should be done. Then if you are an average student, you will become above average. If you are above average, you will become rank holders. But if you are below average student and you don't do that, then in that case, maybe in ACCA also we will not pass. I'm saying bad things, but that will happen. And any student knows inside, nobody need to say, your parents, me or anybody. You know in inside what is your capacity, how much you can do, where you are wrong, where you are not good, that you know already. Nobody need to tell you. अगर मेरे में कोई खराबी है, मेरे को सबसे पहले पता है. You don't have to say me. Similarly, any student who has any issue in anywhere, the student knows very well. Work on our weak areas. And that can be possible by doing the work like this. Not by doing the question kit again and again, topic reading again and again. That will not help. Now what they have written. Since it is a 14 marks question, obviously the write-up will be lengthy. Again, when we are reading their answer, the objective is not that I can put this comma, full stop, same thing. It's impossible. My style, their style, your style, everybody's style is different. Never while doing a theory question, think in that direction, because otherwise you will be always demotivated. You need to motivate yourself. That whatever they are writing, I was thinking same only. I have my own style, but I was thinking in the right direction. TIP financial performance can be assessed in a number of ways. Sales growth. Sales are up at 1 to 3%. They have written working note. They have done the calculation, which is a little above the rate of inflation because 1% is inflation. So you can say that sale price would be increasing by 1%. Sales volume should be increased, but it is increasing greater than that. Therefore, a move in the right direction. However, with average admission prices jumping to 8 to 6% and the number of visitors falling, there are clearly a problem. Large increase in the admission prices reduces the value proposition for the customers. It is unlikely that the rate of increase is sustainable or even justifiable. Indeed, with volume falling down by 6 to 7%, it appears that some customers are being put off and price could be one of the reasons. Now, nobody is saying that it is the only reason. They are saying maybe it is the reason. Maintenance and repair. Their repairs to be continuing different away from the routine maintenance, with management preferring to repair equipment as required. This does not appear to be saving any money, as the combined cost of maintenance and repair is high in 2015 as compared to 14. That I didn't said. Repair, maintenance and wages and operation, if you add, then 2015 more expenditures are there. Director's pay. Absolute salary levels up to 6.75% up. Well, they are writing 6 to 7. So maybe without calculation, you can write this. I can do that. 260 to 320. 6 by 226. 6 by 26 will be coming certain percentage. Well, that was relating to repair. Director bonus 15 to 18. 3 divided by 15. 20% up. Well above the modest inflation rate. It appears that the shareholders are happy with the financial performance of the business and are prepared to reward the directors accordingly because they are getting more dividend. Bonus levels are also well up. It may be that the directors have some form of profit related pay scheme because more profit, more bonus, and are being rewarded for the improvement in the profit. The directors are likely to be very blessed with the increase in the pay. Director looks satisfied. Wages are down by 12%. This may partly, I will say that in directors something need to be written. They have not written. That maybe the directors are satisfied, but the business is not satisfied in terms of the customers. So even though the directors are satisfied, we need to think how can we do something for the customers. Wages are down by 12%. This may partly reflect the loss of customers, down by 6-7%. They are correlating. If it is assumed that the last part of the wages cost is variable, it would also be that the directors are reducing staff levels beyond the fall in the level of customers. The directors are reducing at more greater rate than the decrease in the customers, enhancing short-term profit. Customer service and indeed safety would be compromised in this case. Net profit. Net profit is up by 31.3% and most shareholders value would be pleased with that. Net profit is very traditional measure of performance and most would say that this is a sign of good performance. Return on assets. The profitability can be measured relative to the asset base which is being used to generate it. This is sometimes referred to as ROI, ROA. The return on assets is up by 11.4%. This is partly due to the significant rise in the profit and partly due to the fall in asset value. We are told that TIP has cut back on development costs. So the fall in the asset value is probably due to the depreciation and all that are lower during the current year. In this regard, it is inevitable that the return on asset is up, but it is more questionable whether this is a good performance. A theme park, a thrill rides must be updating to keep customers coming back. The directors of TIP are asking for the future of the park. Now, wherever they have written, they have done the calculation. Sales growth 1.3%. Then 2014 average admission 35 per person. 2015 38. So increase in the prices by 8.57%. Directors pay 6.7% increase. Directors bonus levels 10 to 12.5. They are not calculating exact. 10 to 12.5% increase. Wages are down by 12%. Loss of customers 6.7%. 6 to 7%. Profit up by 31.3%. Return on assets last year, current year. Now sales growth 3 marks. Maintenance 3 marks. Directors pay 2 marks. Wages 2 marks. Net profit 2 marks. Return on assets 2 marks. If I am there in the exam hall, I will be doing the write-up along with the calculation. In the paragraph where I will be writing, I will be doing the calculation there only. I will not be going into working note. I will be going there only because I want to save my time. I want to utilize my entire 20-22 minutes in writing. So some calculation I will be doing there only while writing the things only. So that I will be just that before starting write-up, I will be doing that. I will be doing verbal calculation in my brain that where the things are going wrong. That I will be doing. That what is this? I can see the figures, the exact calculation I don't know, but mota-moti I will be analyzing my brain that these are the weak areas, and then I will be writing the answers in the right direction. Obviously, I am not saying that I am perfect. I will be getting 14 out of 14. Perfection is this only. But then you need to analyze your competency, your strong area, your weak areas, your thing. How can you do that? But nobody will be getting marks just by calculation. Nobody will be getting marks just by writing this has gone up, this has gone down. That is not the expectation of the examiner from a skill level students. Are we getting? This type of question can come in FMFR also. There is no problem. You as a company's director, not an auditor, not in audit. You as a company's directors or a management person, management accountant, How can you evaluate the performance? Same thing in FR. So it's not that it's a question for PM. This area is common in FR, FM, PM. In all the three subjects, this is common. Now with the same data, they have given extra information and asking another question of 6 marks. During the early part of 2014, they have given the information 14, 15, 2 years, 14 beginning they are saying. Employed a newly qualified management accountant, because performance management is related with management accounting. So you are the management accountant. He quickly become concerned about the potential performance of TIP. When you are management accountant, you have got the data where the problem is there, and to investigate his concerns, he started to gather data to measure some non-financial measures of success. Balance scorecard, customer perspective. It's not essential that you need to mention the balance scorecard name, but non-financial means other than financial, customer perspective, learning and growth perspective, internal perspective. The data he has gathered is shown below. Hours lost due to breakdown of rights. 9,000 hours last year, 32,000 hours this year. That means when the rights were broken down, then during the repair, 32,000 hours were lost. Last year, it was only 9,000 hours. Average waiting time per ride. Last year, for a particular ride, you were waiting for 20 minutes. Customers were waiting for 20. Now 30, 50% more. When you are waiting for a ride for a long time, you feel that you are in a theme park. It is free because it is covered in the cover charges. But you are waiting for the rides for half an hour. Will you be interested in going in the theme park again? Never. Never. Why you are required to wait? Somewhere there is a breakdown that is rectified for that reason. Somewhere maybe you can say that the staff are less, so they are not able to make the things for the new persons at that time, because you are reducing the wages, salaries, you are reducing the staff, you are not doing the maintenance on regular basis. For that money, what do you say, maintenance on routine basis, so the repair and all that are arising extra, so you are not taking tension on that, so that is creating problem. TIP has 50 rights of different types. 50 types of rights are there. It is open 360 days of the year for 10 hours each day. So what can be the total rights? 50 into 360 into 10. 500 into 360. If I will consider that in a hotel 50 rooms are there, 360 days they are let out. So every room for 360 days, 50 room for 360 days. And you can say that 10 hours for every day. So you can say that into 10 hours. That is the operational capacity. 50 into 360 into 10. 500 into 360. That is the total hours available. How much? 50 into 10 into 360. What is the total hours available? $18 lakh. 3 5 ja 15, 6 5 ja 30. 1,80,000 hours or 18 lakh. 10, 20, 30 and 180. Yes, 1,80,000 hours. So you can say that the operational capacity is 1,80,000 hours. Whether it is required or not, just when the figures are given, I can calculate. Now the increase in the hours lost due to breakdown is 9,000 to 32,000, around 3.5 times more, and the average waiting time 50% more. Assess the quality of the service which TIP provides to its customers using table 1. Assess the quality of the service which TIP provides to its customers using table 1 and any other relevant data, and indicate the risk it is likely to face if it continues with the current policies. Assess the quality of the service which TIP provides to its customers using the table 1 and any other relevant data, and indicates any other relevant data means sales, wages and all that, and indicate the risk it is likely to face if it continues with its current price policies. Now you can start the answer right up on the basis of the balance scorecard. balance scorecard focus on internal customer learning and growth. Or if you don't want to use a model, because writing the model will not give you marks, you need to apply the model. If I am not interested in writing balance scorecard, I want to be general, because they have already given the problem. So balance scorecard is not essential. The quality of service to customers. The customers are dissatisfied because they are required to wait 50% more for as compared to last year. For that reason, the number of customers has already reduced by 6 to 7%. The customers are required to wait. You can say that even though the customers are waiting, but they are paying more as compared to last year. So the customer satisfaction we are not able to take care. Why we are not able to take care? Because we are compromising on the quality of our services. The services, the internal efficiency, which is based on wages and maintenance routine function, we have reduced the wages expenditure, reduced the staff and maintenance. And that leads to increase in the breakdown 3.5 times. Last year as compared to 9,000 hour breakdown, this year it is 32,000 hour breakdown. Out of 1,80,000, 9,000, 5% was the breakdown last year. Now it is 1,80,000, 32,000. So you can say around 20% breakdown. Out of our total capacity, 20% of the time we were not operational. That means we are not going in the right direction. By reducing the wages, by reducing the staff, by reducing the maintenance work, we are not able to save money also. Because the repairs and all that, if you consider, then the total cost is more than last year. So we can understand that the quality of service, the internal efficiency is a problem. We are in the wrong direction, and that is creating effect on our customer service. The customers are dissatisfied. They are not getting the quality service. They are being charged more. So that will create a problem in future. It may be possible that there will be a huge reduction in the number of visitors. And till that time, when we will revive, when we will come to know, Chidiya chu gayi khet, that already gone. We were a very successful company, given a fantastic results, but that is a very alarming situation for us. We have already done mistake for last 3 years. Now there is a time we need to improve. We need to check on our mistakes and we need to work in the right direction. Because if they will continue like that, next time it will be 32 to 64. So it will be 40% breakdown. So the customer need to wait in place of 30 minutes, 60 minutes for one ride. They will not come, never come. And at the same time, we are charging more prices. More prices are justified with better quality. More prices are not justified with bad quality. That is not allowed. So that you need to write here. Now it is a 6 marks question. The calculation already done by you earlier. Here there is only 1,89,000, 5% or something around 20%, 50% more. That calculation, that you can do directly in write-up. But you can write maximum how many minutes? 10 minutes. 10 into 1.5, 15 lines. You need to write in the exam 15 lines. I consider average speed of 1 minute is 1.5 line. If you can type more, you can write more, it is good. But if you cannot type more, at least your average speed should be 1 minute, 1.5 lines. Reliability of the rights. The hours lost increased significantly. Equally, the percentage of capacity lost due to breakdown is now 17.8%. This would appear to be a very high number of hours lost. This would surely increase the risk that the customers are disappointed, being unable to ride. Given the fixed admission price system, this is bound to irritate some customers, not some, most of the customers, as they have effectively already paid for the money. पैसे भी दे दिए, राइड भी नहीं मिल रहा है, दुखी होंगे. Average queuing time. Queuing will be seen. They are making a bold heading, which is very good. I was not able to make the good headings, but they are able to make a good heading. Customers are as dead time. They may see some waiting as inevitable and hence acceptable. However, TIP should be careful to maintain waiting time under minimum. An increase of 10 minutes, 50% is likely to noticeable by the customer and is unlikely to enhance the quality of TIP experience of the theme. The increase in waiting time is probably due to high number of hours lost due to breakdown and customer being forced to queue in the lane. Safety, the clear reduction in maintenance, I have not said that, and could easily damage the safety record of the park, because in theme park safety is very important. Risk, if TIP continues with current policies, they will expose themselves to following risk. The lack of routine maintenance could easily lead to accident or injury to a customer. This could lead to compensation being paid or reputational damage. Increased competition, the continuous rising of admission prices increases the likelihood of new competitor entering the market, although there are significant barriers to entry because a theme park requires huge investment, but still new competitor can come. Loss of customer, the value of money which customers see when coming to TIP is clearly reducing. Higher prices, less reliability, longer queues. Regardless of the existence of competition, customers would simply does not want to come. Profit fall, in the event of customer numbers fall, then so will profit. The shareholders, although well rewarded for them at the moment, could suffer a loss of dividend directions. Everything will go wrong. Capacity, a 1,80,000, 5%, 17.8%. Marks, they are awarding reliability of rides 2 marks, average queuing time 2 marks, risk 2 marks. That they are saying. It's different style of write-up. I will say that these parts I'm liking very well, that ultimately ये सब risk है, because they have mentioned in the question what? They have mentioned in the question risk it is facing. The assess the quality, which is 2 things, and risk which is facing because of this. I was saying those things, but not the way they have said, structured way. So I can say that when I'm reading the answer, I can improve on my part, that when the question will be asking on risk, I will be focusing on 2-3 areas of risk properly. That it is going to affect our income, it is going to affect the satisfaction of customers, it is going to affect the, revenue part, because the profit and revenue will be affected. So it's not that when the directors or shareholders are satisfied, they will remain satisfied in future. Because when the revenue and profit will be affected, they will also be dissatisfied. So that is a high time we need to check that. Good question. But there is no preparation possible in advance for these types of question. What industry, what they will give, God knows. The purpose is just that whatever they are giving, how much I can write, how much I can produce, what is my quality, where I am lagging, that we need to improve. You cannot say that the same question will be coming in the exam so that you mug up. No mugging up required. Getting? Should we go in part A and B now? Or any question? Anything to ask? In the navigator panel, I'm going into part A, question 1. They are saying that they will not allow unless and until I will not do the entire thing. In exam also you need to do the entire thing. So question number 1. If I will say that something you are thinking that, like I have not shown so many calculations in sales variance. Not required. Sale minus variable cost not required. That the examiner will understand. But somewhere you find that it will not understandable. Then you have to show the calculation. I will be writing in my write-up in bracket only. 50 by 150 and all that. I will not be doing separate calculations. That way I will be saving my time in the exam. If I am there in the exam hall. In place of going for separate working in a Word file, I will be writing in the bracket only wherever the calculations are required. You can say that if you asking NPV IRR, which we discussed in FM subject, there you can use the Excel. Here in PM, the use of Excel is very less. Not that much that was required in FM. FR also use of Excel is very less. It's just for writing the column and rows. But in FM exam, in AFM exam, in professional level, the use of Excel formulas are very important. Here so you are doing what? Plus minus. So either you do in calculator, if there are 10 figures you need to add, you can use some Excel functioning. But otherwise there is no use of so much Excel in PM and FR exam. So the use of Excel is at a different level in FM exam. But the use of Excel in other papers is just for plus minus. If you see the FM exam formula sheets, there are many formulas. But in PM and FR, there are very, very few formulas, one or two. In PM, the formula is only relating to learning curve, nothing else. No formulas are there. The use of Excel formulas are there in FM more and more as compared to PM and FR. That I want to say. If there is NPV calculation, you can use Excel. You don't have to say this divided by this divided by this, not required. Like that. Getting? Yes. We will be taking a mock test in the class, not now after 15 days. Because let me do the mock papers in the class, give you feeling how to do the mock papers. Then we will be in a class, I will not be teaching. In a class, I will be taking mock exam. Because whether the student will do on their own or not, I need to take at least one test in the class. I will be doing. I will be marking your answer. You can send any time. There is no problem. So now in part A, company manufacturer. Suppose in part A you are there. You can save your time by reading the question first of all. What is the requirement? Using activity-based costing, what is the budgeted overhead cost per unit of D? Budgeted overhead cost per unit of D they are asking. They are not asking about C. They are not asking activity-based costing. They have given that the company manufacture C and D, budgeted production, labor hour, number of production runs, number of inspection, total production setup, total inspection, other overheads. Other overhead costs are absorbed on labor hour basis. So they are asking for D, you need to find out overhead cost per unit. Now the setup cost, 1,40,000. It is based on number of production runs. So 1,40,000 by 28 into 15. You will be getting some figure. 1,40,000 divided by 28 into 15. You will be getting some figure. Then the total inspection cost. Number of inspections. So 80,000 by 8 into 3. You will be getting the figures 30,000. 1,40,000 by 28 into 15. How much you will get? 1,40,000 by 28 into 15. How much you will get? 1,75,000 and 30,000 is second one. 75 plus 30, 1,05,000. Other overhead based on labor hour. Labor hour for total each 48,000. So 96,000 by 48,000, 2. And then 40,000 in the product D. So 40,000 into 2, 80,000. So 80,000 plus 1,05,000. 1,85,000. 1,85,000 divided by 4,000 units. Answer. 1,85,000 divided by 4,000 units. Answer. 1,85,000 is the total overhead for product D divided by 4,000 units will give you overhead per unit. Now if somebody will say that, sir, I'm taking huge time, you need to work on your speed. We are not doing the chapter. Now we are in the mock papers. So what they are asking, I have concentrated, I need to do calculation for D. Out of these overheads, I need to find out for D by 4,000 units per unit. For three things, three cost. A driver, 1,40,000 by 28 into 15, 80 by 8 into 3, 30,000, 96 by 48,000 into 40,000. I got the figures divided by 4,000 units. Fatafat. Speed. If I will not bring speed, then the problem will be there. Speed will be coming when my concepts are clear. If my concepts are not clear, speed will not be coming. The selling price of product X is set at 550 for each unit and the sales for the coming year are 800 units. A return of 30% on the investment of 5 lakh each product X will be required in the coming year. What is the target cost? Target cost is sale price minus the profit. Sale price is 550. Profit we require 5 lakh into 30%. 1 lakh 50. 1 lakh 50 on 800 units. So 1 lakh 50 by 800. Around 20. So you can say that 550 minus 200, I think. 350 approximately. Exact we can calculate. 1 lakh 50 by 800. Whatever is coming, 550 minus that is the answer. 1 lakh 50 is the income on 800 units. That per unit 550 minus that will give you target cost. Again, the question is big, so I am reading the write-up exactly what they are asking. If only product P1 were to be made, how many units would need to be sold in order to achieve a profit of 60,000 each year? If only product P1 were to be made, how many units would need to be sold in order to achieve a profit of 60,000 each year? That means you are not going to make both the products. You will make only P1. So if you want to earn 60,000 income, then what should be the quantity of P1? So focus on P1 only. P1, P2, P1, 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 selling price, material, labor, very fixed overhead is not a per unit cost. The budgeted production and sales for the year P1 and P2. The fixed production overhead include in P1 relate to apportionment of general overhead cost only. That means in P1 there is no cost which is because of P1. The cost in P1 in fixed cost is for the company. However, P2 include a specific fixed cost overhead totaling $2,500. That means $2,500 would be there if we go for P2 only. Now the quantity 10,000 into 1.2, 12,000 fixed cost for P1 and 12,500 into 1, 12,500 for P2. But out of 12,500, only 2,500 is because of P2. Balance 10,000 is common cost only. So 12,000 of P1 and 10,000 of P2. The total fixed cost, if the company will produce only P1, is 12 plus 10, 22,000. And the profit we require 60,000. 60 plus 22, 82,000 contribution. Contribution per unit 4.2. So 82,000 by 4.2, answer finish. 4.4, yes. 82,000 by 4.4, answer finish. If my concepts are not clear relating to fixed cost, I need to add the fixed cost. I need to consider the fixed cost because of P1. I need to add the profit to get the contribution divided by contribution per unit. I will be taking time. Maybe my speed is slightly greater, but your speed should also be there in doing the part A questions when the questions are simple. So when I said earlier that I should be doing part A, those questions which are very easy, I'm talking about all these 3 questions. These are very easy. Like this. If I'm not able to do faster, that means my study is not good. My concepts are not clear. I don't know how to calculate units, that is contribution required by contribution per unit. I consider fixed cost per unit only 60,000 by, you can say 3.2. I am taking units. That means my concept are 0, minus. There is no fixed cost per unit. Whenever fixed cost is given, total fixed cost, profit, total contribution divided by contribution per unit, answer. Like that I need to do. Which two of these are more difficult than the numericals? Because numericals slightly taking time. Theoretically, your concepts should be clear. There is no single question will be repeated in the exam. You need to understand the concept. Which two of the following statement regarding environmental cost accounting are true? So environment, you can say that when I'm taking the class, I'm using internet. Internet is creating pollutions. I'm affecting the environment. When I'm taking the class, I'm using electricity. The energy resources are limited in the world. So I'm consuming more electricity. That means my system is not good. I'm adversely affecting, but I'm doing anything for that. I'm not doing anything. That means in Saraf Academy, I'm not doing any environmental costing. What is the adverse effect on environment? But there are organizations which are bigger. They always calculate data relating to environment. How can they protect the environment, recycling, energy resources? Then you can say that how can you will be more sustainable? Relating to that, they gather the data, they control over that. It's very, I mean to say, there is no fixed guidelines for that. But if you do that, it is better for the general public, for the growth of the, for brand, goodwill and everything. So bigger company do that, smaller company don't do that. It is written anywhere. Earlier I said that when I taught environment costing, environmental accounting, it's not that I said the same example. That means my understanding says that this is the meaning of environmental account. What the Kaplan or what any material will say. If my concepts are clear, I will be able to do this question. But if I am very much mechanical, reading the books again and again, then I will not be able to solve. That's the problem. Which two of the following statements regarding environmental cost accounting are true? Two statements. The majority of environmental costs are already captured within a typical organization accounting system. The difficulty lies in identifying theme. The majority of environmental costs are already captured within a typical organization accounting system. The difficulty lies in identifying theme. According to me, I don't accept this. It is not so easy to capture all the environmental cost, but it is not 100% wrong. I am taking whichever is correct. If others two are more correct, then I will not select that. Input-output analysis divides material flows within an organization into three categories: material flow, system flow, and delivery flow. We studied that, but I don't remember. Input-output analysis divides material flow within an organization into three categories: material flow, system flow. I don't remember what we studied here. I can say that there was a flow accounting and there was input-output analysis. I think this is flow accounting. But this is saying input-output. So this is wrong according to me. But I don't remember exactly. I can apply my general common sense. System flow, material flow, and delivery flow. That's other thing. Material purchase, material flow, conversion of material into finished goods. System flow, delivery, giving the goods to the customers. This is flow accounting. This is not input-output analysis. One of the, that means second number is not correct. That much we can remember. One of the cost categories used in environmental activity-based costing is environmental driven cost, which is used for cost, which can be directly traced to a cost center. One of the cost categories used in environmental activity-based costing is environmental driven cost, which is used for cost, which can be directly traced to a cost center. Again, I will not say 100% wrong or right, but some part is right, which can be directly 100%. I am not liking. Which is used for cost control, which can be directly traced to a cost center. Can be said, it's not a wrong sentence, but I am taking in hand. Environmental life cycle costing enables environmental cost from the design stage of the product right through to the decommissioning at the end of the life of the considered. Environmental life cycle costing enables. According to me, the second one is correct. Because they are saying environmental, when you prepare life cycle costing, you consider all the costs from beginning till the end. So environmental life cycle consider all the environmental cost. So last one is correct. But which one out of second, first and third? I will select second, third, because that is looking more logical than the first one. The majority of environmental costs are already captured in accounts. No, you need to capture those environmental costs in accounts, then only. Environment, one of the most categories used in environmental activity-based costing is environmental driven cost, which is used for cost, which can be directly traced to a cost center. Yes, I will go with these two. Let's see. Most organizations do collect data about environmental cost, but find it difficult to split them, categorize, and effectively. Life cycle costing does allow the organization to collect information about a product environment cost throughout its life cycle. The technique which derives material flow into three categories is flow accounting. ABC does categorize some cost as environmental driven cost. However, there are costs which are normally hidden within total cost overheads in a conventional costing system. It is environmental related cost which can be allocated directly to a cost center. But then which one is correct? Life cycle one is correct. Most organizations do collect data about environmental costs, but find it difficult to split them out and categorize them effectively. Which one they are saying? They are saying 1 and 4, na? The difficulty lies in identifying them. Most organizations do collect data about environmental costs, but finds it difficult to split them out and categorize them effectively. And this one, why they are saying wrong? ABC does categorize some cost as environmental driven cost. However, there are costs which are normally hidden within total overheads in a conventional. That means there are many environmental costs which are part of a general overhead, which are not environmental cost. It is environmental related cost which can be directly allocated. But the other costs which are relating to environment, which are added in the conventional money, these are costs which are normally hidden within total overhead. They are not possible to be directly identifiable with the cost center. ABC does categorize some cost as environmental driven cost. However, these are costs which are normally hidden within total overheads in a conventional costing system. But they are talking about ABC now. One of the cost categories used in environmental activity based costing is environmental driven cost, which is used for cost which can directly traced to a cost center. That language is correct. What they are saying here, ABC categorizes some cost as environmental cost, or not all the cost. However, these are costs which are normally hidden within total overheads. That means even ABC also not able to categorize all the environmental cost under one category. That they are saying. Okay. One of the cost categories used in environmental activity based costing is environmental driven cost, which is used for cost which can be directly traced. It is not directly traceable. There are many costs which are of conventional manner which cannot be identified within the environmental driven cost. They are coming as a general, and then they cannot be associated with a particular cost center. They are treated as general overheads. Okay. So that means I will not be getting marks here. The answer is 1 and 4. Okay. No, actually conventional means I was thinking traditional. ABC and traditional costing. In traditional costing, all the overheads with one. They are using the word conventional means there are many types of expenditures which are relating to environment which cannot be identified relating to environment related cost. It's very difficult. So they come as a common overhead and then they cannot be identified to a particular cost center. That they are saying. That it is not possible to identify, even though you are applying ABC, all the environmental costs relating to environmental related. There are many things which cannot be classified, which comes under common cost, and then there is no cost center for them. That they are saying. So you are saying that all costs are captured, but whether they are relating to this activity, this cost center is difficult. So they come as a common. Okay. Based on the above information, which of the following statement is true? To produce 19 liters of X, a standard input 8 liters of A and 12 liters of B is required. To produce 19 liter material required 8 and 12, 20 liters. Chemical A has a standard price 20 and B has a standard price 25. During September, the actual result showed 1850 liters of X produced using 900 liters of A, 1100 liters of B. The actual cost of chemical A and B were 20 and 25. Actual cost is same as a standard cost. Based on the above, which of the following is true? So we need to check. Both variance were adverse. Which both variance? Which both variance? The total mix and yield, but they should be writing. Based on the above, which of the following? Mix variance and yield variance. So anybody can calculate mix variance in this example? How to calculate mix variance? How to calculate mix variance? I'm not asking the calculation of figures. The standard mix is 8 and 12, 40%, 60%. But the actual mix is 900 and 1100, which is not 40 and 60%. The standard mix is 40 and 60%, but the actual mix is, the first one is 900 by 2000 is 45%, the second one 55%. So you are using the costlier material less than the cheaper material. That means the mix variance is favorable. I don't have to calculate. The costlier material is B is used less proportionately, less than 60%. So that means mix variance is favorable. Now in 2000 liter, the output should be 2000 into 90%, 2000 into 95%, 1900, but it is 1850. So that means yield variance adverse. With 20 liter, 19 liter should be output, 95%. So with 2000 liter, 95% in 1900, but it is 1850, yield variance adverse. The mix variance was favorable, the yield variance was adverse. You don't have to calculate, just you can analyze the data. The production is less, yield variance adverse. The cheaper material is used more, mix variance is favorable. That's all. Are we getting? There is no calculation required because they have not asked the figures. They are asking just the analysis. So yield variance is adverse because the production is less, and mix variance is favorable because the costlier material is used less. Now we need to place all these things. A budget is a quantified plan of action for a forthcoming period. Budget can be prepared using a variety of different approaches. Match each of the following statements to the correct budgeting process. Builds in previous problem and inefficiencies. If you go for incremental budgeting, this will be a problem. Then recognizes different cost behavior pattern, flexible budget. Focus employees on avoiding wasteful expenditures, zero-based budgeting. Where is that? Which are not given, maybe beyond budgeting. Focus on controlling the causes of cost. Always extend the budget 1 year into the future, rolling budget. Focuses employees on avoiding wasteful expenditures. Focuses on controlling the causes of cost. Activity-based budgeting. Focuses on controlling the causes of cost. I think this will be the activity-based budgeting. And this is this. Beyond budgeting, focuses employees on avoiding wasteful expenditure. I'm not liking that, but builds in previous problems and inefficiencies. Incremental budgeting is that only, because we prepare the budget based on past. Focus on controlling the causes of cost. One more is there. Sorry. For that reason, yes. Uses adaptive budgeting, zero-based budgeting. This is the case. Yes, sir. This is here. Yes, sir. Beyond budgeting, uses adaptive management process. Builds in previous problems and inefficiencies. Focus on controlling the causes of cost, activity-based costing. Always extends the budget 1 year into the future, rolling budget. Recognizes different cost behavior pattern, flexible budget. Focus employees on avoiding wasteful expenditure, zero-based budgeting. I'm thinking still I'm wrong. 1 second. Builds in previous problems, no. Focus on controlling the causes of the cost. Focus employees on avoiding wasteful expenditures. I will change this. I will take this one here and this one here. Focuses employees on avoiding wasteful expenditure, activity-based costing. Focuses on controlling the causes of cost. No. Causes of cost is activity-based costing only. These two are confusion. What do you think? Activity-based costing, we know the activities, so we will be able to control the cost based on activities. Zero-based budgeting, anything which we will be doing, why we will be doing. If we don't do, what will happen? How can we do that? Starting from scratch. So which one is better? Because all other things are okay. Focuses employees on avoiding wasteful expenditure. Focuses on controlling the causes of cost. I will change this, but I'm not sure. If there is anything wrong, the marks will be 0 because it is computer generated. 2 marks for full right. Suppose this question, if I am in the exam hall, I will be doing that later. First of all, I will be doing those things which I can do fast. I want to pass. Then I will be doing that later. Let's see what they have given. I will be checking anyhow. Beyond budgeting attempts to move away from conforming to a rigid annual budget and uses adaptive management process to encourage management to be responsive to current situations. Beyond budgeting, attempts to move away from conforming to a rigid annual budget management process to encourage management to responsive to current situations. 1 second. Beyond budgeting attempt to move away from conforming to rigid annual and uses adaptive management process. Yes. An incremental budgeting builds from the previous year figures so inefficiencies are carried forward. Activity-based budgeting is based on principles of activity-based costing and all attempts to identify the drivers of cost in order to formulate a budget. Activity-based budgeting based on the principles of activity-based costing and will attempt to identify drivers of cost. Rolling budget I know, flexible budget I know. It starts from scratch with each item justified for its inclusion and so should be encouraged in the identification of waste and non-value adding activities. That means everything is correct. Because focus is on employees on wasting the inefficiencies. And activity-based costing was a focus on controlling the cost. Focuses managers to release plans more regularly. Flexible budget show the changes in the financial figures. It may be wrong. It's not that we are checking that wrong or right, but just that we need to focus on what language they are using. Activity principles of activity-based costing will attempt to identify drivers of cost so that the drivers of cost can be controlled. Because that is called drivers. And zero-based budgeting so that encourage the identification of waste and non-value added activities on avoiding wasteful expenditures. Okay. Very big question, what they are asking. Okay. Using the information identified by clicking on the relevant branch of the decision tree, which action the company should take. Okay. A leisure company owns a number of large health and fitness resorts, but one is suffering from declining sales and is predicted to make a loss in the next year. A large leisure company owns a number of large health and fitness resorts, which presently the COVID they are facing. But one is suffering from declining sales and is predicted to make loss in the next year. As a result, management has identified a number of possible actions. Shut down the resort and sell off the asset. Undertake a major upgrade to facilities costing 4.5. Undertake a minor upgrade. So band karna hai, minor, major. The upgrade are predicted to have variable costs and the probability of good results after a major upgrade is 0.8. The upgrade are predicted to have variable results and the probability of good result 80%, bad result 20%. Whereas the probability of good result after a minor upgrade is 70%, bad result 30%. The company is risk neutral. For that reason, decision tree is there. Prepare the following. So you can see that what is the value here? 11 into 80% plus 7.5 into 20%. 11 into 80% plus 7.5 into 20%. 8.8, 1.5. So 10.3 minus the cost. 10.3 minus the upgradation cost is 4.5. 10.3 minus 4.5. 10.3 minus 4.5. 5.8 I think. And in the minor, 9 into 0.7, 6.3, 6 into 0.3, 1.8. 6.3 and 1.8, 8.1 minus 2, 6.1. So minor upgrade. This we will select. Because here we are getting 5.75, here we are getting 5.8, here we are getting 6 point something. So in the minor upgrade, we will be doing the best. Using the information below, identify by clicking the relevant branch which action the company should take. They will go for minor upgrade. Because in that case, the chances of getting highest income. Shut down 5.75. Major upgrade 5.8. Minor upgrade 6.1. So we should be going for minor upgrade. Getting? On the two circle, we need to calculate average figure. Whichever is highest, we need to select. Right to left. Moving. Not seeing the solution. Let's see. 6.1. I have done already calculations verbally. Because generally I don't require use of calculator if the figures are logical. Rank the products in the order they should be manufactured, assuming that the company wants to maximize profits in the next 4 weeks. That means which one is first, second, third, fourth. You can say based on key factor. It has now been identified labor hours available in the next 4 weeks will be limited to 4,000 hours. That means labor hour is a key factor. So profit plus fixed cost 46 divided by 6 hours 6, then 52 by 8 greater than 6, then 21 by 3 7, then 60 by 2 30. So first rank, second rank, third rank, fourth rank, that's all. DCBA, first rank D, second rank C, third rank B, fourth rank A. If I am correct in my calculation, this is 7, this is 30, this is 7, this is 52 by 8, 6 point something, this is 6. Contribution per hour, that is fixed cost plus profit divided by labor hour will give you contribution per hour. So that contribution per hour will be the decision maker. Where the contribution per hour, first rank, second rank, third rank, fourth rank. First, second. Why? I am doing wrong. My calculation are wrong. 46 by 6. Oh, I was taking 36 by 6. Sorry. So, second rank is B. Second rank is B. Then third rank is 7, which is C. No, second rank is A, sorry. Second rank is A, 7 point something, then 7, then 29. This is 52 by 8. 8 6 less than 7. So C third and B last. Sorry. Because I did 36 by 6. Sorry. Okay, then match the correct value for money performance category for each of the following targets for DEF. Match the correct value for money performance category. Money performance is a company, I think. for each of the following targets for DEF. DEF company provides accounting services to government departments. On average, each staff numbers work 6 chargeable hours per day, with the rest of their working day being spent on non-chargeable administrative work. DEF company provides accounting service. On average, each staff member works 6 chargeable hours per day, with the rest of their working day spent on non-chargeable administrative work. One of the company's main objectives is to produce a high level of quality and customer satisfaction. DEF company set its target for the next year. Match the correct value for money performance category for each of the following targets for DEF. Or triple E's. Economy, lower cost, efficiency with less resources, maximum outcome, effectiveness outcome. Increasing the number of chargeable hours handled by advice to 6.2 per day. I think efficiency. Obtaining a score of 4.7 above on customer satisfaction, 100% effectiveness. This is effectiveness. Cutting departmental expenditure economy. It is very simple actually. Efficiency, working more, getting the better outcome, that is efficiency. Increasing the number of chargeable hours handled by advisors to 6.2 per day. In place of 6, you will be working more. Efficiency. Obtaining a score of 4.7 or above, effectiveness, customers would be satisfied. Cutting cost by 5%, economy. Economy input, effectiveness output, efficiency input and output both. Target 1 is measuring the rate of work handled by staff, which is efficiency. Target 2 is assessed output, so is measure of effectiveness. Target 3 is financial measures and so assess economic factors. Normal, this does not have anything. For today, this we are doing last. Balance we will be doing in the next class. Different types of information system provide the information which organization needs for strategic planning, management and operational control. Match the following characteristics to the relevant information system. Management information system. Transaction processing system. Transaction processing system helps in transaction recording. Management information system helps through those transactions. The management will be able to take decisions. Executive graph and all that. So they need to summarize internal data into periodic reports. Can be set up with external links to customers and suppliers. Utilities, dashboard facilities, interactive graphics. That is in executive information system, that I know. Facilities to immediate processing, that is transaction processing system. Summarizes data into periodic. Can be set up external links to customers and suppliers. Enterprise resource system. And summarizes the data for taking decisions, periodic reports, because management are in the middle level. From the transaction processing system, management make periodic reports. Those periodic reports are helping the executive system to take strategic decisions. And the enterprise resource system managing all the resources in the organization, department, divisions, making connection with the suppliers, customers, that is enterprise resource system. That is with the IT area. I am 100% sure this is the answer. Transaction processing system facilitate the immediate processing of data. Management information system summarizes data from TPS into periodic reports for decision making. Executive information system draw that data into MIS and reports. They usually have a dashboard and interactive graphs. And enterprise resource planning software and packages integrate all the resources in the organization. It can be integrated with the suppliers and customers. All these 4 systems are there in most of the organizations. In a smaller organization, all these 4 systems are not there. Like we don't have all these 4 systems. But I can say that going forward, these 4 systems are required in my organization. Transaction processing system for recording the transactions. Management information system on periodic basis, reports are prepared to take the decisions. Executive information system, those reports are converted into graphs, charts, so that executive can take strategic decisions. And enterprise resource planning is resources of the organization, department, divisions with the supplier, customers. Everything should be properly managed. That is enterprise resource planning. You can say this is an IT area. When we do questions like this, it is very difficult preparing brain. Sometimes standard, sometimes target, sometimes life cycle, sometimes IT, sometimes this and that. So topic wise study we cannot do now. After doing this, the entire paper, we will be able to get what are my weak areas. Suppose IT, I am forgotten, or suppose life cycle, anything. Then I will be revising those stuff for 5 days. Then again I will be doing one more mock to analyze my competency, speed, whatever I have improved or not. Then again 4-5 days again revision that way. That way the studies should be done for coming days before the exams, before you give the exam. I will be taking test in the class, but after 15 days, not now. Around you can say end of this month or next month beginning. Then I will take the test so that I can do more and more mocks with you, get the feeling, and then we are in a position to take the test after revision and everything. But when you are studying on your own, don't study topic wise. That time is gone. Study everything on the institute website on screen, whether with these papers, whether CBE paper, there is ample of papers are there. Ample. Okay. We will be continuing with this paper and doing other papers on the website in the next class. Or if any doubts is there, I will discuss. There is no problem. Leaving for today, everybody. Tata. Thank you.